Hello, everybody. Good morning. We've got ourselves a little bit of Seahawks news. And before you click away from this video, because this isn't really news, we're not really going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about the lessons that need to be learned from this. Because I'll say it right here, right now. This surprises maybe three people in the entire world. There might be three people in the whole world who are surprised the Seahawks are not picking up their fifth-year option on Rashaad Penny. But that is what we're talking about for the moment. Per Brady Henderson on Twitter, the Seahawks will not be picking up the fifth-year option on running back Rashaad Penny. The option would have cost about $4.5 million in 2022, fully guaranteed for $4.5 million. So because we watch football and we follow this team, we understand that Penny was not worth that option. And I think I don't think any real Seahawks fan is surprised. He shouldn't get the option. He doesn't deserve the 50-year option. And this team should not be making that kind of an investment. You can go to his PFR page, and the numbers speak for themselves. He's not started a single game in his career. He's played in 27 of a possible 48 games. If you count playoff games, he's played in about half of the total possible games he could have played in as a Seahawk. And he has less than 1,000 career yards from scrimmage. So, yeah, he's clearly not worthy of that fifth-year option. Fun fact, the Seahawks have not used the fifth-year option once since it came into existence. So, really not hitting very well on some of these first rounders, are we? Okay, so again, this is not surprising. Rashaad Penny should not get the fifth-year option, does not deserve it. That's not news. But what I want to talk about is the lesson that the Seahawks need to learn from this and make sure this does not happen again. Because I can easily see this same scenario happening over the next two seasons. And I want to talk about how we can prevent it. Okay, here's the thing with Rashaad Penny. After 3 seasons here, I can't say that he's just a bad player. I can't say that he's useless. I can't say that he's worthless. I can't say that he's just a bust. Because when I watch him play, I'm like, okay, he does these things well. He's got good vision. He's got good speed. I think he can be good in a zone blocking scheme. I think he can be good doing outside runs. I think he can be good on pitch plays. I like some of the things that he does. So me saying that he doesn't deserve the fifth-year option is not me saying he's just a bad player. Over the last 3 seasons, watching him play, the sense I have gotten from Rashaad Penny is that his skill set did not fit in well with the Brian Schottenheimer offense. We wanted power backs. We wanted guys who could just ram it in up the middle. That's why we had so much success with Chris Carson. And because of that, I think Penny didn't really get a great chance to succeed. And despite that shortcoming, despite that problem, he still managed a yard per carry average of over 5 yards a carry over the last 3 seasons. 5.7 yards per carry in 2019. I know it's a small sample size, but that's not bad. That's useful. That's very useful to pretty much any NFL team. So here we are after 3 seasons. We have a first round pick on our roster who I cannot definitively say if he's good or bad or not. Honestly, I feel like he could be good in the right scheme. I think if you gave him to the 49ers or the Saints, he would probably be very successful. And we obviously can't pick up that fifth-year option on him. However, with the way the salary cap is going up, a hypothetical, dynamic, talented, productive backup running back would be worth $4.5 million. I think we all can agree on that. If you're a backup running back in the NFL who is really productive and helps your offense produce and helps your team continue to move the ball even when the starter's out of the game, you're worth $4.5 million for a season. With the going rate for players these days, yeah, I have no problem doing that, especially one who's relatively young. Penny's going to be 26 in his fifth year. So, yeah. And I'll give the Seahawks a little bit of it. Big part of the problem here is that he keeps getting hurt, and I understand that. That's not our fault. I don't think Penny was injury prone in college. That's just been the way the cookie has crumbled. However, we didn't give him the best chance to succeed because of our offensive scheme, I don't think. And here's the thing, we have Shane Waldron coming in here with a scheme that I think fits Penny's talents much better. So it would not surprise me if Penny has a really nice 2021 season, plays well, is productive for us, and then we just lose him. So that would be unfortunate, and it's something I don't want this team to have happen to them over the next 2 years, and I easily could see it happening. Okay, next year, LJ Collier. It will be his third year, meaning that next year around this time we will have to make a decision on LJ Collier's fifth year option to keep or not to keep. And that fifth year option is probably going to cost 4 to 5 million, like Penny did. Um, if LJ Collier moves to 3 tech full time, which is where I think his talents can best be utilized, and then he has a really good season, maybe, I don't know, 6 sacks and 25 to 30 QB pressures. He won't be playing a ton because he'll be in a big rotation. I'm not expecting him to be a double-digit sack guy and be an Aaron Donald because he's not going to play enough. But let's say he plays enough to have a really nice season. Again, I'm saying like 6 to 7 sacks, 25 to 30 pressures. That would be worth the fifth year option. Yeah, he's a young, capable, productive defensive tackle who can get after the quarterback. I would easily give a player like that a fifth year option coming off a season like that. But if we don't move him to 3 tech, if we just keep him at 5 tech, where I feel like his talents are not best utilized, or we don't play him very much because we decide to fall in love with other players in front of him on the depth chart and he just doesn't get on the field and we don't get to learn if he's any good, then we're going to have this same situation next year where obviously we're going to have to decline his fifth year option. But I'm not going to be super confident that it's him. I'm going to be wondering, did we just not put him in the right position to succeed? Did we not utilize his talents as well as we could have? Or does he just suck? And again, you could see something like that happen in 2022. We decline his option in the offseason, and then we move him to defensive tackle in his final year, and then he starts playing really well, and oh, he's gone at the end of the year because we didn't have the fifth year option on him. So, really hoping that next year we can avoid it. Let LJ Collier get on the field, let him play at the position where it seems like his skill set is best suited for, and by the end of the year, you will know if he's worth the fifth year option or not. 2 years from now, Jordan Brooks, same thing. Jordan Brooks is a middle linebacker. He was drafted as a middle linebacker. He should be a middle linebacker. We're not playing him at middle linebacker because we have Bobby Wagner, so we put him at the will. Now, he's fine at will. he isn't lost at will. It's not out of his skill set. He can do it. It's fine. But he should be playing middle linebacker, and I believe that he will be our middle linebacker after Bobby leaves. Now, here's the problem. Bobby Wagner's contract runs for 2 more years, so if you let him play out that contract, Jordan Brooks will have gone through the first 3 years of his career without playing his natural position. Do you see the problem I'm trying to get at here? Yeah. We're not going to know how good Jordan Brooks is when we have to make that decision on his fifth year option. So I can easily see us falling into this trap. So here's what I'm going to say. The Penny thing, it's already over. Honestly, I would admit that it's probably just a sunk cost. Penny probably isn't very good. Penny probably isn't worth the fifth year option regardless. But I'm sitting here and I'm kind of feeling like I kind of think like he's going to have a good season this year and then we're going to wish we had used it. And it'll be all because we didn't put him in the system that worked to his talents. Maybe we should have drafted a different running back or not drafted a running back at all because we had Chris Carson and we should have known that he was good at that point because he had been on the team a year. Or maybe we should have hired someone who wasn't Brian Schottenheimer and then drafted a vision back like Rashaad Penny. I don't know. But I'm kind of sitting here thinking like, I think we may have just blown this because somehow you have a first round pick on your team for 3 years and you're not yet sure if he's good or not. So this time next year, I want to know if LJ Collier is worth keeping around on the 5th-year option, because again, $4.5 million for a player who is a quality defensive tackle pass rusher, easy, 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 easy. Give me that. But find out if he is that. Jordan Brooks, 2 years from now, I want to know if he's worth the 5th-year option, because if he is a starting caliber middle linebacker, that's easily worth $4.5 million, $5 million. But I want to see him play a full season at his natural position before we make that determination. So that's what we can learn here. It's not Penny didn't get his 5th-year option. Let's analyze this. Why didn't he get it? We all know he didn't produce enough. He doesn't look like a good enough player to be worth $4.5 million in 2022. But next time this happens, which is, this year and the year after, let's make sure we give these guys the opportunity to be their best selves so we can accurately assess their value. That's all I'm going to say in this video. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think in the comments. I just want to see a smarter usage of resources going forward from this team. Because right now what I'm seeing is we're drafting players and then not doing a good job of finding out if they're good or not before we cut bait. And I'll say it again. If Penny has a nice 2021 and we end up regretting not picking up that option, I will not be surprised. And if he goes somewhere else after Seattle and is more productive in that other place than he was here, I will not be surprised.